Hello Internet, so nice to see you. How do you learn your chords all over the guitar fretboard so that you are not limited to play the good old cowboy chords all the time? Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Some people will tell you that you have to grab one of those books that have a lot of chords and learn them by heart. And I totally disagree. That's probably the worst way to learn all those chords. So other people will tell you to learn a specific scheme or system to learn all those chords, like the cage system or something like that, which the cage system may work great for some chords, but let's say I'm not going to comment too much in that. So how do you do it? What's the best way? What's the way that actually gives, at the end, gives you an intuitive knowledge of all this, so that you don't have to do all the calculations every time? Well, I have my ideas. I'm going to show you a segment of a lesson I did with one of my students, and I'm going to show you how we learn some interesting chords on the fretboard. We are working on partial seventh chords, though everything we are doing can be done for triads or for any other kind of chords. I recommend you guys follow along with your guitar. This is a different way than what you've seen so far. This is a more hands-on way to learn chords. The results are more permanent and you get an intuitive appreciation, intuitive knowledge of that. I mean, every time I find a book and there's a bunch of chord shapes, I'm like, why? Okay, it feels like anyway, it feels like I'm in high school all over again and I have to study all the dates of the Civil War or crap like that. Okay, no, not happening, not happening. I'd rather work the shape out myself. I learn them better, I remember them better, I write them down the way I like, I make my own, I mean, I'm actually doing it, okay? So I mean, it's not the top piece of paper on my notes, okay, right now. And what you've seen right now is really nothing strange. I'm just finding a different way of connecting triads and pentatonics, okay? So I mean, it's really nothing super advanced either. It's just that there's always new stuff, even in the old stuff. Learn them by find the shape yourself, and then make sure to bring the shape around on the fretboard in different keys, in different strings, etc., and see how it goes. Okay. For instance, a lot of people like to study incomplete seventh chords. I like them too, they're great. Okay, incomplete seventh chords is a seventh chord where you eliminate one of the notes. You typically eliminate the fifth, okay? Though you can eliminate the third too, okay? And on the first three strings, you find several. Now, if you learn all the shapes, there are 4 shapes when you eliminate the fifth and 4 shapes when you eliminate the third, only on the first 3 strings per chord. Okay, so we are talking about certain amount of shapes. You can also eliminate the root. It works great because the bass player typically is hitting the root, so that works too. So you have other 4 shapes, okay? The best thing is to reconnect them with the triads. So if I'm having a C major shape, first string 8th fret, second string 8th fret, third string 9th fret. C major. The 7th of this chord is a B flat. So if I want to play a B flat, I need to change one of those notes into a B flat. I can change the C to a B flat. And now when you play the bass of C, you get a C7. Or I can play the G note to a B flat on the second string. Or if there was a way, you could change the E note to a B flat, but that's a bit too far. I mean, doable. Would not be my shape of choice because the B flat is on the 3rd fret and then I'm playing at the 8th fret. So it's okay, but that's how I would relate them.
Totally makes sense. Yeah,
it's one possible way. It's one possible way. It's not the only possible way, and for some shapes it's gonna be inconvenient, etc. But it's one possible way. It gets you started. Okay. Next possible way, you start with one of those shapes. Okay. So let's say I'm starting with this shape here. So I have C, first string 8th fret, B flat, second string 11th fret, E, third string 9th fret. C7, great, without the fifth. Now I'm moving all those notes to the next or the previous note in the chord, whatever it is. Let's go down. The C goes down to B flat, the B flat goes down to G, the E goes down to C. Now I go down another note. The B flat goes down to G, the G goes down to E, the C goes down to B flat. I'm just rolling through the chord essentially. I have the notes C, E, G, B flat, and then going down a step in those notes. Okay, so that's another way of studying those shapes. Okay, see, that's another reason why I don't like book of shapes. They don't connect the shapes. They don't, because they can't. Okay, by just giving you the shapes, how do I connect them in your mind? You don't. The only way to connect them is to do this kind of exercises, where you think, starting from the triad at the seventh, or starting from this shape, move it up and down the chord, or move it up and down the scale, which is a different exercise. I know you know what I'm talking about here, okay? And all this kind of thing. Find a different inversion, change the string, because in real life, when you play in real life, you are not remembering all those shapes. Maybe after a few years of playing the shapes regularly, you're gonna start remembering them. You typically don't remember all of them anyway. You remember the one that sounds best to you, that fits more your style, and this kind of thing, okay? Not only that, but if you insist on learning the shape by heart from this kind of thing, there's one thing that will never gonna happen. Because at a certain point, when you learn the shape the way I just showed you, you train your fingers to find the notes, find the shape, find the sound. After a while, you start playing shapes. You have no idea what you just played, but they sound good. Then you have to stop and maybe figure out what you did. But if you learn the shape from a book and just learn the shape by heart, this is never going to happen. Because your brain is fixed in name first, shape later. While studying the shape this way, your brain is concentrating on, let's find the sound on the fretboard, which is way more useful, okay? I mean, let's say in C. Okay, that's a way to go from here to here. Okay, this is a 7, that's another C7. It's actually technically only a C, but anyway. The chords in between, haven't the faintest, it sounds good. Okay. If you want to learn harmony on the guitar in this way that gives you an intuitive sense, and you want to go beyond just learning chords, but also learn how to connect all of them, how to make music with all of them, again, having this kind of intuitive appreciation of it, but at the same time being able to exactly know what you're doing, then I recommend you guys check out my course, Complete Chord Mastery. Complete Chord Mastery, it's not a book. It's a complete video course that takes you from the basics up. We do everything you need to know about harmony and chords on your guitar. All the theory is done straight on the fretboard. There is no theory for the sake of theory here. Everything is immediately practical, and everything is developed through exercises, so you know how to apply these immediately on your guitar. If you have just a minute, click on the link on the top right to check out Complete Chord Mastery. If you like this video, smash on that like button and don't forget to subscribe and click on notification, otherwise YouTube will not let you know when I put up a new video. And if you have any comment, feedback, suggestions, write them down in the comment. I enjoy reading from you and I make videos on your suggestions. This is Tommaso Zilio of musictheoryforguitar.com, and until next time, enjoy!